Hi, it's Colleen again. So on this little snippet, I thought I'd give you a background explanation really around some struggles too for children with reading. And on this little video, um, I'm going to discuss about actually being able to read, to learn to read. And if I have time, I'll touch upon comprehension in this one. But what parents need to understand about reading skills is in school, the teachers will let you know that reading is comprised of certain skills, and they talk really in terms of literacy. So it's really around being able to read a word, spell a word, and then being able to write, comprehend. And there's like technical terms for all of that. There's like a scale of different skills that your child needs to learn. Underneath all of that, your child needs to have certain strong skills in their brain before they can even master those skills. And that's, as parents, we don't get that from the teachers. So part of my whole thing with doing the business is to make sure I get this awareness out so that parents know that they have a choice and that they're much more empowered and they know what their options are. And with reading, you think about with reading, what do we need to do? We have to be able to read a word, and that technical term is called to decode. And we say decode because our reading is a code. It's a whole system of codes. And it's all sounds related to codes. And then depending upon how you put these codes together, they can make different sounds, which then build upon into words, which then can build upon into sentences, which can then build upon into paragraphs, so you get the point. And the technical terms around it is phonemes. The phonemes are the sounds. It's the smallest part of the English language, if you will. It's a code. So when you have like the letter A, the short vowel A, you'll have like an A. So the phonological awareness, that term that you hear a lot of, that is being able to do the sound to codes. Your child has to be able to recognize what sounds go with what codes. Now that's some of the basic info that you get at school, but there's so much more to it for reading. Not only does your child need to be able to do the sound to code, like the A is an A, the B is a B, but you have to also have your child have strong skills around the blending of those sounds so that when you're bringing in the S and the H, you have a sh. And schools will go into that depending on the programs they use. They have their different terminologies around it. And the other part that's really important, where a lot of the programs at school don't touch upon, is the analysis of the words themselves and the sounds in the words. So you have phonological awareness, which is a sound to code. Then you need to also be sure that your child can blend the sounds together to make a word. And you also have the analysis of all these sounds within a word. And the other parts that you don't really necessarily hear about from school is that you have an orthographic part. That's the technical term around that. And that's the actual visual part of the letter. So like when they write the letter C, they see this letter C, and that's orthographic. Behind that, you have graphomotor to make sure that with the graphomotor part, they're actually doing their letters correctly. All of this comes into play with reading skills, and it all interrelates to how well that your child's brain is processing. Within that, for your child to be able to do phonological, to succeed at phonological awareness, succeed at blending, succeed at analysis of the sounds, to then be able to decode, your child needs to make sure that your child needs to have very strong visual processing skills, auditory processing skills, what we would call a word attack skills, and processing speed. And then, some other variables around that come into play would be attention skills, their ability to stay on task, their ability to divide attention. The reading itself has a lot of parts to it, and the great part about the brain training programs that we offer is that all of that is addressed. So we always go in and do like this bottom cognitive foundation piece so that all of these skills get strengthened. And then if your child needs instruction around reading, we can provide that instruction. Like I would provide the instruction directly to the student. If they're out of state, I would work through Skype, And similar to like how you're watching me on video right now, I would have video calls with your child and coach one-on-one. Or we would do in person if you're in state. I would work with you in my office, but we also have an online system now that is launching pretty quickly, pretty soon, within a week or so. And that has everything that I do and coach the families through will be online so that your child can get through this whole thing with you as mom. And you can do it yourself with your child, or you can work with me and I will help coach as well. And we can do everything online, and we can do some work through a telephone if you choose to. There's a lot of different ways that you can do it. The important point to take away is that you can do it, and that there's no reason why any child cannot learn how to read these days. Even for children that are dyslexic, there are proven methods through research. I mean, everything that I do is based on research, and it's over 35, 40 years of research. And there's proven methods to help your child learn, to be able to read and to learn in general. So when you get to the point of after your cognitive skills, the child's cognitive skills are strengthened, so they theoretically have that ability to learn and be able to read, and the instruction comes into play. There's different ways you can do that as well as mom. Now that you know that your child has these skills, to transfer the skills and make them work, you can work now with the tutor to do one-on-one for a type of program. If you have a program that you have preference over, we have programs. I can work with your child using Master the Code. I also have Fast Forward that I work with the parents with the children. And there's just other things that we can give you. And then I also give you a complete roadmap that gives you specifics. So now we have identified where your child has weak cognitive skills for their ability to do everything in school, to learn. And we have strengthened that. You now have new measures to show you that your child has the ability to succeed at school now. So then we go into another roadmap where we specifically identify these gaps within reading for these reading skills that your child needs. And this maps closer to where you would find at school, where your teacher would start giving you terms around reading that maybe vocabulary, semantics, comprehension, spelling. So we go through that whole thing and provide you with a clear roadmap on the exact skills that you need to target for your child to either bring them up to level, to bring them above level. And this way, if you choose not to stay with us and you go to your tutor will have a clear roadmap of what they need to focus in on. That's done with an assessment as well. So I hope you enjoyed this, and just keep watching my videos and keep getting empowered, more aware, so that you know what your choices are for your child. And I will talk to you again soon. Thank you.